All right, this is not going to age well, is something that should have been said to Dan Rather about 43 years ago. Stu just found this video.
Yeah, it kind of went viral actually over the weekend, and I happened to notice it, and it was just a callback of, it's interesting to always look back at what people were saying. The people you were supposed to understand and trust had the evidence about what could go on in the future. They outline many, many times what they believe is going to happen, and every once in a while they are a little too specific. Like they get into specifics. If you're going to make claims of future doom, the appropriate way, if you want to maintain your, save face if things go wrong, is to kind of keep it general and vague, which a lot of times they'll do in the global warming world.
Sure.
They'll say, really bad things are coming, and they won't be particularly specific, just general horror is around the corner.
Right. And they'll do it within 100 years. You'll see the beginning of this in 100 years. So all of us will be dead.
Yeah. So Dan Rather, this is back in the 80s, 43 years ago, talking about what was around the corner here with new evidence from scientists, and look out for what's coming.
Concern about rising temperatures on planet Earth heated up a hearing here in Washington today. For years, scientists have theorized about the dangers of the so-called greenhouse effect, the warming of the Earth's atmosphere due to the burning of coal and oil. And in recent months, as David Culhane reports, research has uncovered facts to support that theory.
Many scientists claim that the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere has been rising over the past 100 years, that the great sheets of pack ice in Antarctica are melting at a much more rapid rate than previously. Finally, that the sea level has been rising with increasing swiftness over the past 40 years. If these scientists are correct, about 25% of Florida would be flooded, along with low-lying areas all over the world. Climate changes could produce widespread disruption of agriculture. The American farm belt might be too dry, and the wheat and corn crops would have to move to Canada. Scientists blame the odorless, colorless carbon dioxide gas for these potentially dangerous changes around the planet. It is the greenhouse effect. The gas allows sunlight to filter down and warm the Earth. But like the glass of a greenhouse, the carbon dioxide tends to trap heat so that it cannot rise into space. The scientists maintain that the coal, oil, and gas we've been burning for 100 years have produced more and more carbon dioxide and helped overheat the Earth. Now, some political leaders endorse the demands for more CO2 monitoring stations, like this one in Hawaii.
By the way, the politician they then threw to was Al Gore in 1982, making these claims.
Gosh.
So 25% of Florida underwater. I don't know, Glenn, if you could look around.
We laughed because it showed the map of the United States, and then it showed the map of Florida, and Florida was just like this little stick that came out of the bottom.
Yes.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It was like America had a bike stand all of a sudden.
That's right.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, you'd basically, only if you were in Central Florida would you have any civilization left.
Disney.
Yep.
Disney.
You see, we would not have any agriculture in our country. All of it would have to go to Canada, which you might note. I mean, considering we've been talking a lot about international trade lately, we actually have we produce a heck of a lot when it comes to agriculture here in this country.
Yeah.
All of these claims, of course, didn't come true. In fact, the coastline of Florida remains one of the best places to buy a home in the country, and most expensive places to buy a home in the country. People are moving to Florida by the millions.
You know, if global warming was true and the coastlines were going away, no bank and no insurance company in the world would underwrite a loan.
Right.
No, nobody would. Nobody would. Why would you write a 25-year mortgage on a house that if in 25 years it's going to be, 10 feet underwater? That'd be the dumbest thing you could ever do. Well, why would you do it?
Yeah.
Because they know. Because when money doesn't talk, it screams. And when money is still saying, no, go ahead, build there and 25-year loan, that's fine. You know this is a bunch of bull crap. It's just bullcrap.
Yeah, these aren't small investments. Back in 30 years after this Dan Rather report, you wrote a book that was a bestseller for a while called An Inconvenient Book. And there was a chapter about global warming. It was, it wasn't all about Al Gore's. It wasn't a parody of Al Gore's book, but that was the first chapter in the book, and the picture that was taken for the first page of that was a picture of the Miami skyline, which is, this is 2006-ish maybe, and it's just flooded with cranes. All you see is cranes all over the entire skyline. There's so much construction going on in Miami, you can't believe it. Now, of course, a couple of years after that, there was 2008, there was a collapse. We've had COVID in between there. And in between this entire period, there have been multiple additional construction booms in Miami. The picture that is in that book is so outdated. There's double and triple the amount of skyscrapers that have been built in this area.
No, it's underwater.
No, yeah, if it was going to be underwater, if people actually believed it was going to be underwater, there's no way they would be investing this type of money into developing Miami and other coastline communities. It would make no sense. They all know this isn't true, or they believe that humanity will come up with a solution to it, right? Which is also a real possibility. Like, there are times where there are lots of areas that have problems with flooding that have been, generally speaking, controlled because of human innovation. This is usually what happens in these situations. So even if they're right, I don't think 25% of Florida has any chance of being underwater. But even if that problem gets worse and sea levels do rise a few more inches than expected, humanity typically has a way of dealing with that.